Hey folks, welcome back to Let's Play Bloodstained, Ritual of the Night. I am the Mysterious JG. So, the pork cutlet recipe. I have figured out where it is, and although I didn't read up in detail, I've opened up the pages for the different things in the wiki. So, I feel like maybe the easiest thing is to just fight until we get to a teleport room, and then we can teleport back towards earlier zones of the game. We definitely missed something that we needed to get. Well, we didn't need to get, but it's a pretty fun optional crystal earlier in the Den of Behemoths, but we're now far away enough from it that it would be easier to work our way back there. Where am I trying to get? I'm trying to get up. Okay, I'm trying to get this way. But it'll actually be easier to get there probably from the entrance if we just proceed far enough in this place that we can teleport back near the entrance. And it's another thing I did off screen already, so I know that I can figure this thing out. Oh, I got knocked back into a mobility issue. Oh, come on. No, it's going to phase its way out of our reality. It did. It disappeared from our world. How the hell does that work? Oh, there it is. It did. It phased out of our... Oh, there it is. Those things will not drop a goddamn crystal. Crystals. They're just not going to do it. Okay, well, I avoided the damage from that bat. See, those guys are like tiny enemies around here. Because they're already like a big monster. Werewolves, too. But particularly those lions with the sword guys. They just seem tiny now. So they just have me fall right into a den of frogs. Thanks, game. Meanwhile, there's... I don't know what's going on over here with that treasure. I don't know why I'm bothering to collect these treasures, because I'm going to be... Oh, damn it. That wasn't a good idea. Well, I found the exit. But yeah, I will be loading to where I could get quite lucky with item drops here, and it's not going to be worth exchanging for the slot that I will be loading from later, what we've grinded against enemies, not just in there, but also here. Now, this is the final area of the game, the Glacial Tomb. I guess thematically interesting. That, like, you have the obligatory ice level, and they saved it for the end. But, I mean, thematically interesting kind of in the sense that, like, you know, if you want to get into, like, Dante's Inferno and shit, the innermost circle of hell is a, like, frozen hellscape. So, do they have that in mind, or they're just like, oh, fuck, we forgot to do the ice level. Well, we better make it the last level, because we're done. We've designed the whole map, we're all done. I guess we'll just do ice at the end. Ow. Gotcha, they seem to say. But who knows? Like, we missed the pork cutlet recipe, apparently, so maybe when we find it, that'll be 100% map completion. Here's some cashmere, and now we have cashmere recipes. There's some pretty mean enemies around here, but honestly, it doesn't feel like a last level of the game to me. This place doesn't feel like there's a huge difficulty spike. The crystals are always annoying in these rooms because they can fly around into areas that are like solid wall, but they can still launch their ranged magical attacks from there. But there's nothing really unique about the ice crystal doing that. Crescent stroke. I thought maybe we were actually going to get a last minute bit of plot, but instead what we've got is teleport power, which is good. We need teleport power to continue our adventures. So we can now get in and out of the endgame area, which is handy. The Den of Colossal Den, or whatever the hell it's called, doesn't have that power. Doesn't have a teleport room unless missing the teleport room, which is hidden away somewhere, is why I don't have 100% map completion. It just doesn't seem to have one. So I did not mean to do that. Hold on one second. Okay, no, I was like, for a minute, I was like, wow, did I just discover a new area? This could be a huge deal. Like, it's probably really early game stuff. It won't give me anything great, but it'll give me map exploration, and now I'm realizing, oh, no. I did know about this already. So you might be wondering, where the hell are we going? We are going towards the entrance hallway, the first of those huge, tall rooms where you can't explore everything when you first get there. Apparently I missed something there. And that something I missed was a recipe for making plume... Oh, fuck. Never mind. I thought this was going to be a shortcut. Instead, I'm wasting time. Oh, and by the way, the thing that we missed in the Den of Behemoths is a shard that allows us to run super fast, which makes backtracking way less painful. And of course, I took a wrong turn and missed it right before we go into backtracking. See, I keep thinking that floor is like one where you have to press down and intentionally jump through the floor, but no. This is exactly where that shard would be really useful. So I think once we get this pork plume recipe, we would go back and get that shard. Okay, so apparently I missed it in this room somewhere. And Lord knows, it's a big enough room that I could easily have just not seen something. Okay. So far, nothing. Thought it was this room. Alright, let's see. Let's check. Recipe for pork bucket. We found the second tall room. Never mind. On the upper left. Okay. This is the first of the tall rooms. I need to get to the second one. In the entrance area. So... Oh, I think I might even see it on the map. I think I might even see it. If we sneak in there, yeah, there's a little thing up here we never bothered to check. It's just possible this will get us to 100% map completion. I mean, it won't now, but I mean when I... Oh, well, you know what? I just realized a logical flaw in what we're doing here. I just realized a big logical flaw in what we're doing here. I'm going to be loading a state after this where we haven't gone and gotten the pork plume recipe. Let's get it real quick, just to confirm where it is, and then we'll go back to exploring. We'll just explore the glacial tomb until we've explored all of the map, and then we'll just go and do some general housekeeping. 2,000 gold. Nice. Yeah, it's a fairly decent sized area that we didn't explore. And it's got some, you know, when it's got something as important as a pork plume recipe, you know that's a big deal for them to properly defend. Capacity max, capacity max. We'll have to do this later, but here's capacity max. Meat dish R. There you go. And honestly, that's enough map reveal. It's just possible that was the missing piece to get us 100%. In which case, we really owe a great debt to old lady who wants lots of food for forcing us to look this up. Alright, but now what we need to do, honestly, is just get out of here and get to some place where I can save, just in case for some reason we want to pick this slot up. But what we really need to do is get on with exploring the Glacial Tomb. Because once I've gotten to the point where we can find all the bosses, I'll feel comfortable just be like, okay, now I'm going to load the game where I'd already done a bunch of grinding. Because I believe I have a game saved right before fighting the second to last boss. There's only 2 bosses left, and they're both plot bosses. We don't have any more, like, giant weird dude shows up and sucks money out of you, and you kill him. Like, our last 2 bosses are characters who have been part of the story. The game kind of... I like this game a lot, but it kind of peters out. I mean, a lot of the Castlevania, Metroidvania games are like that. It's just this big, long, epic adventure, and there's not a whole lot they can do at the very end to make it do something other than just kind of end. You just eventually run out of stuff to explore. Like Symphony of the Night, like, you know, held up as being the greatest Metroidvania adventure of all time. When you get the good end, at the end, you just you spend a big chunk of the end of the game just chasing down that weird dude who hypnotized Richter Belmont, and you finally find him and you defeat him, and there's a little bit of the speech, and then you fight Dracula, and it's like it hasn't built up dramatically for a while. This game is kind of the same way. So we'll save here. And you'll see our map exploration is... Well, what is our map exploration? Our map exploration is 94.8. And if I move up to... That is May 30th, 2021, March 22nd. So if I move to this slot, we will... I think this is the slot where we will have... actually leveled up all of our stuff. We will have cleared the game on this slot, but that's a weird thing where like it auto-saved that I had cleared, but then when I went back and loaded it, it did allow me to do the last 2 story missions again, or story bosses, because I had saved before that, when I was just off-screen just being like, I wonder how far I am from the end. Oh, well, we can make our actual plumed pork here for this lady. And I think the problem is I got one and I ate it because I didn't realize it would be a quest item for that lady. Eggs on rice, beef curry. Pork cutlet. See, because I've already had one.
I'll go with this. Great.
Pace yourself out there.
So we'll have to do all this over again, but I'm curious, how many of these in a row are we going to be able to do?
Did you bring?
Just bring it, bitch. All right, that's pork cutlet. That is the one.
That's it. Oh, it's.
Save some for me. You've already had some. You don't need any more, Piggy. We got a dojigiri.
Is there anything else you'd like to? Yes, I'll help you.
The other thing I have not... Something fluffy.
I suppose.
And that'll be some kind of egg dish, which we just might already have. Okay, looks like eggs. Whatever. Let's come back and do this later. And for now, let's explore the Glacial Tomb. And then I can load a slot where we can actually just do all this stuff. Oh, but you know what? Chicken butt. You know what? We need to... Or rather, we ought to do something in the Den of Behemoths before we say goodbye to it forever. There's that little corner where Koopa the Quick is waiting for us. It's not quite Koopa the Quick, but it's pretty similar. We will be encountering a new friend who wants to let's take a ride. We're here, we're queer, get used to it. I support you in your pride, undead gay man. Anyway, here we go. Ready to warp to the zone of behemoths, or the den of behemoths, rather. Part of Jap Zone, home of the RPG Insane. Jap Zone, home of the RPG Insane, is a site that Zerfall and I have made great use of with Super Show Monster Story and other games in the past, but it just popped up again recently for reasons I can't quite remember, but I'm just delighted by that website. And the guy who did it hasn't been updated in a long time. And the guy who did it, though, he obviously did a lot of work to get it as good as it is. But there's just something about it that we just like to tease. All right, so we are going to finish exploring the Den of Behemoths. Somewhere in this direction, there is yeah, I cannot get these guys to drop a crystal. And I'm really hoping when they finally do, it's one I don't care about collecting, because I need to get it just to complete my, Pokedex of crystals. Even if it's one that another enemy drops, because that's happened. There's a few enemies that drop redundant crystals, and these guys don't drop crystals at all, which is established in the Pokedex. But even if it turns out they don't drop crystals. And see, you can't open them upside down. But we got Waystone times 2, which is a bit of a crap treasure at this point in the game. Actually, it's a bit of a crap treasure earlier in the game, too. Ow! You just shot me in the back. Shot in the back. How nice. I don't know that there's anything back there that I care about revealing, but yeah. Okay, JG, that's not working. Stop doing it. The greatsword arc is such that it can hit things unexpectedly. Like, it'll hit, you'll be facing the wrong direction, and sometimes it will connect on an enemy because of the backswing. Sometimes you'll hit things that are below you. So I'm always willing to give it a shot, but at some point you just need to realize, okay, this enemy is not being hit by this swing. I think I missed a treasure up here. Oh, no, I didn't. Yeah, I am definitely a proponent of the greatsword in this game as my weapon of choice. Here we go. Okay, so there's a race to be had, and there's a couple of things that can be useful here. There is a suit of armor, which makes you run faster. Oh no, it's not a suit of armor, it's like a scarf or something. Or, speed belt. Strange belt that compels wearers to run, increases movement speed. Because this guy's going to race us.
Can you keep up?
Aegis Plate is super useful here. He's faster than you. You gain time on him on corners by using invert, because he does this like hoppy thing to get around. So I'm going to beat him on the first try. I did not do this off screen, but the speed belt is the key. I'd kind of forgotten about the speed belt. So we're going to beat him with a lot of time to spare, actually. But I did lose to him once or twice off screen just because I didn't know the layout. And we didn't beat him by that much, actually.
How could anyone be faster than me?
I should have lost to him because I forget what he says now, but it's something like, "You're way too slow," or, something like that. Accelerator, move more quickly. So the thing about the accelerator is it's super useful in that's not what I meant to do. Yeah, it eats MP, but when you're just like running around in the level in areas you've already been to before. Just really useful. It's going to be great for doing stuff like re-clearing, like going around exploring, looking for recipes for these damn quests. And I believe you automatically hit any candelabras and get the money drops out of them when you're in that mode, which means running back and forth in certain screens that have just a couple of candelabras and no enemies is a way people grind money. You even do damage there. I didn't realize that. Oh wait, I didn't want to. I didn't actually want to do that. Ah, crap. Okay, you were just being a pain in the butt. Although Karubu's shoe there got rid of you. Karabus. So you don't do a lot of damage with this attack, but it's basically it's enough that you damage and destroy things that have coins in them, so you can use this as a way to get coins. But in fact, invert is still your friend. And honestly, just because the Den of Behemoths is such a pain in the butt to navigate, we're probably better off just leaving and teleporting back to the icy zone. Get in the zone, icy zone. See how cool that is? It's awesome. It's the real deal, folks. Alright. So we'll spend the rest of this episode just exploring the Glacial Tomb. And next time, I'll take a break and kind of gather my thoughts, hopefully, and come up with a plan of attack to just finish up recipes. You know what? That's some bullshit. We know that's not going to happen. What's going to happen next time is I'll have the information open, and we'll get as many of them as we can effortlessly by just already having whatever it is you need, and then the rest will just be like, okay, hold on, let's read this. You're gonna make me change it. I thought for a minute I was gonna get Pork Cutlet. That would have been ironic. You're gonna make me change to the stupid craftwork thing. Oh, damn it, that's not even where I wanted to go. Oh, jeez, I'm such a goof. I thought we needed to get there. We didn't. We needed to get here. So we can go ahead and get Accelerator back. I think I even maxed out Accelerator. Not like number of shards, but rank of shards. There's no real reason you need to do that, but I think I did it. Alright. Glacial Tomb. The crystal armor is being filled without... And we don't need the speed belt anymore. We can probably get the gambler's ring back, because that gives us luck. Which is handy for when you kind of don't care and you're just running around being silly. Trying to get drops. Resistance to darkness, but... Khaleesi. Put on the Khalesiris. It basically makes you a half-naked hottie. MP Max, I'm a half-naked hottie with the MP Max. We got a weighted ring, which allows you to train on your way to Planet Namek. What does it actually do? We got 2 of them. Increases your experience intake. We don't care about that, although if there was anything left for me to grind for, it would be probably trying to max out the experience on my familiars. There is supposed to be an item that increases the drop rate of shards, and I have not found it. That might be another one for me to just look up. Oh, fuck, that hurts. Resistance to ice. Not that shocking. Every elemental has dropped resistance to its own element as its crystal so far. This feels like a plot room, and yet nothing plot happened here as far as I can remember. That really feels like it's a plot room, like I missed some kind of plot dialogue. Here are some rooms that are definitely easier if you just use invert. These guys hit hard. And they give you Axe Strike. They allow you to deal a Grievous Blow. Cookie! General Grievous talks like Cookie Monster. He just does. It's nobody's fault, but it is the case. Things tend to look silly if you are in invert mode. Warhorse is key. So now we can get the Master of Ass Warhorse. That's an actual thing I didn't make up. You can look it up if you feel like it. But when I saw Warhorse wrestle in Nova Pro Wrestling once, I thought he was alright. Like, he's a guy who apparently has quite a big rep, and I don't want to sound like I'm dissing him, but he was like, he seemed pretty good, but like, I don't know, I'm not a connoisseur. But I found out later he had like this huge reputation on the indies, and I was like, he seemed like better than average of the guys that we were watching at Nova Pro. Although Nova Pro had some really good dudes, so it sounds like I'm dissing Warhorse, and I guess I kind of am without really meaning to. But I mean, and one of the things is that yeah, there's just a bunch of really good guys in Nova Pro Wrestling. So we cannot advance until we beat the second to last boss, because we need to beat the second to last boss to get past this room, because the second to last boss has the crystal that allows you to warp short distances, even if there's a block in your way. But that same thing, for some reason, there's just a couple of chests in the Oriental Sorcery Lab working on the same principle, and I'm not quite clear why, because that's a few areas back now. I guess it's not that far back. It was like right before the Colossus Zone, because it's where you fight Zangetsu for the second time, and kind of the plot gets revealed a bit. So we can do this without... We can just use this with our regular old Lasertron attack. The Reflector Ray. So we might as well get the Flark. The Flark would appear to be a high-end regular sword. It's not even that high-end. Holy sword that answers to its master's will. Yeah, there's quite a few weapons that we never got, including some of the ones that you need to feed to a shard to max out your passive weapons shards. So that's another thing that I was like, I was going to do that. I was going to get all those passive shards, including the weapons shards, and I just ran out of will at one point. My will won't.
Take this.
Those guys are kind of nasty. Let's get rid of Accelerator and get healing going, because I'm kind of a nasty time of it with some of these fights. Okay, so that is plot advancement. We don't want that. But this is MP Max, MP Max. I got myself a little MP Max. There's 500 gangsters. It's time to call it a video, but I think we're very close to just wrapping up the map. So we will do that and then call it a video. So this is the save point that you're obviously supposed to use before you fight the second to last boss, which segues almost directly into the final boss. You can fight the second to last boss and then continue without and then like not continue the story. Oh fuck me, this is unpleasant. Summon Tracer, call forth a monster. So it's kind of generic. I haven't even tried it on screen. Not on screen. I haven't tried it at all. It's like I see the red shards are just attack magic shards, and when I see a new attack magic shard, I just don't get that excited. Those like that demon over there going, he's like the last regular enemy we need to defeat for a kill those murderous dead quest. Off screen, I've killed more than enough of them, so we will collect on that quest soon enough. Once we so that guy shoots monkeys out of a cannon. Is that what's happening there? We've just got a tiny little bit to explore here. An ice chair. I don't think I noticed this before. It doesn't seem to do anything. There might be like a Xbox/PlayStation trophy for sitting in all the chairs. I don't know. Because this game definitely has like chairs that don't do anything. But anyway, we're now at 98.90%. Which is actually giving me some real hope. Because there's enough rooms between here and the final boss to make up... I feel like it makes up the difference. This feels like a boss room. I don't... Oh, you know what? I think I do remember what that's about. I think there's like an optional boss that we can trigger here later. Somehow, some way. But anyway, we're going to go to Aronville. We're going to save. And when we come back next time, I'll have loaded a different slot. And what I might do between videos is go get that plume pork roast recipe, since you already saw me get that on screen, but I won't have gotten it on this slot. And that might take us to 100% completion. Matter of fact, maybe I will get that on screen just so that we can see together and have the excitement of knowing whether or not it got us to 100% completion. But I'm getting a little separation anxiety with this game. This Let's Play did not take as long as I thought it would. But it's a fun game. I really enjoy this game. I usually leave it to Bobo to handle Vulture Clan's Metroidvania adventuring. But I can't say that I've ever sat... I think, honestly, part of it is I really enjoyed Super Metroid, which I discovered for myself. I mean, discovered it. Like, I knew it was a big... It was a sequel to a really big game, and I played it, and I was like, wow, this game's really cool. I really like this game a lot. But I wasn't playing the later gen, and by now they're like 10 generations old, but to me, anything post Super Castlevania 4 on the SNES is late Castlevania. Like, that's where my mind... Like, the original Castlevania is for the NES, then you had the second generation, which was the one SNES game, because there was like a terrible Rondo of Blood variation, whatever. But like all those others to me are new Castlevania games, as even though they're decades old, some of them. But no, I remember Bobo telling me, like, you've got to play Symphony of the Night. It's a great game. I love this game so much. You have to check it out. And I played it and I liked it, but it was one of those, like, not just Bobo, but I'd heard so much about how great it was that by the time I played it, I was like all, you know, programmed to, it ain't that good. I mean, you know, it's good, but it ain't as good as you said it was, because you said it was like super good, and it was only like kind of good. I think I had a little bit of that going. But in the intervening years, I've tried a few of those games, and they are fun. But they can suck up a lot of time. This one I was expecting to be a huge time drain, and it kind of was, but only because of the monstrous amount of grinding I did. Anyway, I'm going to shut up, and when we come back, we'll basically be in let's wrap up odds and ends and quests modes. We're going to wrap up as many of these quests as we can, like burying the villagers with keepsakes and killing those murderous dead and giving an old lady food. And we'll have to beat one more boss before we can rescue Numbnuts, who keeps teleporting but not back to town. We can rescue him one more time, I believe. And these are all things that will happen in the next few videos before we wrap up this Let's Play. And when we get to the end, people can talk about, you know, would they like to see me play through as a Zangetsu guy? Do you want to see me play the they had some kind of other mode, like 8-bit classic mode or whatever. Like, if people want to see some of that stuff, they can kind of mention it. But I think I'll probably be ready to set this game down. But anyway, we'll moving together towards the end next time.